It is the homemade broadcast. Oh, we've been live for 10 seconds. That's good. I gotta say, I really like StreamYard. That's the one that I used to produce this show and beam it out online. But it doesn't let me know until it's all of a sudden we're live and I'm just doing stupid things with my face and I feel like an idiot. But
screaming racial slurs and
yeah.
But we know by now that it's kind of like a little bit on a delay, where all of a sudden like you're 10 seconds in.
Yeah, but if I was watching that and a stream started and it was 10 seconds of people doing this, I mean, that's a long time. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. I might tune out.
The people are here for it. So
the people are here for it. It is the homemade broadcast. It's episode, I believe it's 547. My name is William Kuncz, and this is Anna Hummel.
Welcome to my humble abode. I moved, as you can see.
That's pretty awesome.
You like my grand piano?
Yeah.
Quite nice. Don't you think? My hand go. It just appeared. Oh, it's this side.
I love it.
Yeah, mirror image. Yeah, nice grand piano. The fireplace, as you can see. It's nice.
Yep. That is nice. You should get that thing going. It's nice and cold outside. Right
I know. This is the time of year to do it.
I love it. Well, welcome to the program. Yeah, we're separate this time. I'm coming to you live from Pinellas Park, Florida. Anna is somewhere in
North Pinellas, let's just say.
North Pinellas in a new mansion that she is there any news that you need to break? Did you find a new job or anything like that?
No, but it's funny that you mentioned money coming my way. I just spoke with my father, who is, against his better judgment, on his way to the motherland because he is going to sell an apartment that he inherited from his mother. So Papa Hummel is about to...
He's going to sell it to Hamas.
Oh, Hamas? I mean, if their money is green, my dad's happy to take it. But
when you say the motherland, do you mean Israel or do you mean South Africa?
That's a great question. Israel. Yeah. Israel. The Jewish homeland. I know that's controversial to say, but
what's real estate going? I mean, it seems like it's an active war zone. I don't know about the whole country, but definitely some heat, rockets flying in, whatnot. Seems like a bad time to sell.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, maybe you could wait and maybe make more money if you were just like hold on to it a little bit longer. And my dad's response was, because my dad never nothing is ever nuanced in my father's life. It's always the extremes. And my dad said, I don't know how long I'm gonna last. And I was like, I was talking about waiting till maybe next summer. Like,
yeah, well,
I wasn't talking about waiting 2 decades. But yeah,
tomorrow's not promised.
That's very true. That is very true. But it's highly likely that he'll last until, summer or until the next president comes into office. And maybe things could shape up and real estate prices could go up, which would be great for him if you're about to sell and he's going to, you lose a lot of money in taxes. And because he's got lawyers involved and accountants involved, they take quite a nice chunk of money. But my dad just says, like, what do I care? Like, I got enough. And just started spewing how much he'll have in the bank. And he's doing really well. My dad is doing very well for himself. I'll just say that.
Heck yeah. Well, good for Phil. I will say, tomorrow's not promised, but going to an active war zone makes it even less promised. But hey, best of luck to him. Happy holiday, Shabbat Shalom to Papa Phil. He was one of the people that did text me on my birthday. He reached out and texted me, and I like how he's done that a few times where he'll text me about something, and he always goes, "This is Phil Hummel, Anna's dad," and I go, "I know, I have your name and number in my phone, and I am aware of who you are." But I always appreciate that too.
Yeah, I mean, he even will call, and I'll be like, "Hello," and he goes, "It's Dad," and I go, "Yeah, yeah I know, Boomer. It's okay.
This is Phil Hummel, your father." Yeah, I got
it. Yeah. But I let him know that it was your birthday, and he took it upon himself to reach out to you and wish you happy birthday. So that was nice of him.
It was very nice of him. We are separate today for a few different reasons, but the main one was the Radio St. Pete fundraiser happened over the week
yesterday,
Giving Tuesday, which was yesterday. Yeah, this will air on.
Oh, Sunday. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was yesterday on the Giving Tuesday, the 3rd of December. How'd it go, Anna? Oh, she's coughing.
Well, the event went phenomenally well.
Mhm.
Shout out to J. Cole, whose name I thought was J. Cole for like 6 months, like the
J.
rapper.
Cole. Yep.
It's J. Cole.
Okay.
Joe Bordeaux, Karen
Mhm.
Carmichael, Nanette Weiser, and
Mhm.
myself, and I'm sure there's a few others that I didn't know by name, but they really put on a great event. We had a lot of local artists come in and perform. A great spread of food, and we definitely raised a lot of money for this really cool local St. Pete radio station, which we're so
Yeah,
fortunate to be a part of and to be on. So
that's great. That's
yeah.
great. I did a contribution to, Radio St. Pete with some gambling winnings that I had over
Oh,
the
you
year.
did?
I had a fantastic gambling session
Ooh,
over the
let's
past.
talk about this vice.
I will say, just take a guess of how much that I won.
Do I have to guess how much you initially put in, or this is just winnings?
This is just winnings.
$2,400.
Close.
Really?
Yeah, pretty close. I immediately it was about 1,900 now.
Wow. Okay.
400 of that's
I
gone.
I guess money, like I guess weight. Like I'm usually pretty spot
A
on.
little heavy.
Also really good with distances, I might
Yeah.
add. But anyways, that's great. Did you
Yeah.
lose it all? I imagine you
No, I took 1,000 and stashed it away, and
good.
I donated some to Radio St. Pete, and,
Good. Thank
uh,
you.
yeah, my pleasure, absolutely.
I mean,
And
you're also part of you're on the
yes,
board, so
that's
you're on
true,
the board.
that's true. But still, I mean, I feel like you're more active than I am right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a really good weekend with that. I had a good weekend in general. We'll get more into that a little later, but yeah, it was a fine weekend. Some of that money is gone on trying to win more,
Yeah.
but I did at least, get out the G. So I have that going for me. You
Good.
got a little cough there. What happened?
Yeah, it seems like I'm acquiring new symptoms as we extend into nightfall. I
Oh,
might be sick for the third time in 2
geez.
months, which is wild, which means that I'm getting hit with different stuff
Where are you
because
getting the illness from?
I mean, like the person?
I know. I'm not saying that. I mean, just like, I don't know. Like, was this
Listen,
you
this
at
is
an
all I'm going to
event?
say that
Yeah.
and it's in the past and it was a great event, the RSP holiday fundraiser,
Yeah.
amazing, phenomenal. It may also be a super spreader event. We have yet to find out, but I suspect that in the next few days, half of the St. Pete elderly community will fall ill and may die. But
Oh,
listen, there
yeah.
were some great croissant sandwiches, chicken salad, awesome pizza, awesome pizza. Shout out to
Yeah.
Tony's Pizza in St. Pete. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god, the Florentine pizza, ricotta cheese, insane. Mwah, beautiful.
Good stuff. Good
But
stuff.
at the end of the day, it may be, the cause at the end of your life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well,
That's
you
the
know,
circle of life.
that's right.
It
It happens.
ends. It
It
ends.
happens. What can you do? I had a similar thing. I actually wasn't feeling that great yesterday. We had I went out of town for the weekend and the Thanksgiving holiday. The day before, so I went to the Indian wedding, the week prior. And I was telling everybody I'm afraid that I'm going to get a upper respiratory virus from the wedding just because it's so many people and I'm not really around people as much, so I don't think I have as much immunity as I would in the past. So my concern was getting an upper respiratory disease.
Were you afraid that you might contract like something from a foreign land? Was there any of
Maybe,
that?
maybe.
Okay.
I mean, not even I wouldn't even say that. I'm not scared of COVID anymore. I've had it a million times.
Oh,
I'm
I meant like
from
from India.
from India. Okay.
Yeah.
You're from China. Um, but it's also, it's just that time of year. I mean, everybody's getting sick. Everybody's, it's wintertime.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking to people. I spoke to my family in California. I just spoke with a friend in New York. Everyone is ill. Everyone is
Yeah.
ill. So,
Yeah. So we did get a notification the day before we were supposed to leave for our trip. We went down to Key West, and the people that we stayed with at the wedding sent a positive COVID test and said, "By the way, I said upper respiratory disease." I knew it. I knew it. So then you start thinking like, wait, do I have it? Am I sick? I don't know. My throat is what's going on? What's going on? Is it just I don't know what it is.
Hmm.
But I was like, I feel like 90%. I don't really have any symptoms. I get a little bit of a cough, but it could just
Before
be
you left,
yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. There's
it has begun. It has begun.
oh boy, that stinks. You need to get
Yeah.
some tea or something in you?
What do you think I've been drinking all
I
darn
don't
day? Okay, yes. Ironically enough, I won a raffle and I won a bunch of tea and a Tervis,
oh nice.
which I gave away because I have enough Tervises. But I
Yeah, I
took
guess
the tea. Yeah, but anyways,
good. Well,
came
that's
in
good.
handy.
So anyway, so my girl's like, oh no, she's a little more concerned about viruses than me, I would say.
Concern in what way? Like concern for herself or concern for others? Or
I
yes.
guess I guess both. I mean, I guess both. During the pandemic when I first met her, she was wearing a mask outside and doing that whole shebang, being a good soldier in the COVID wars. Um, so she's just a little more attuned to it, I think, than I am. And she was like, "Oh no!" And she kind of started doing the same thing, like my throat. I can't tell. I don't know if it's just from yelling and screaming and drinking, or if I'm sick. I don't know. I can't tell. And I go, "Don't test. Just don't test. If you don't feel good and you're symptomatic, then we won't go." But the next day came and we ended up going. We met her brother and her brother's fiance down there. Met him at the airport, and we got one good night. And then the girlfriend went down hard with an upper respiratory illness. Now, did we give her this illness? Maybe. I don't know. But we weren't that sick. She got really sick. It was down pretty much the whole time. So you could speculate all you want. I'm not really sure. I don't feel guilty. I feel no guilt. It's not like I was going around coughing on my hands and blowing my nose and handling croissant sandwiches or anything. I'm just saying, I took some precaution.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
How many planes did they take from where they came from to Key West?
I believe I think they only took one.
Straight to Key West?
No, sorry, two.
At least
because
two.
they came down here the night before, stayed the night, and we took the same flight to
Oh, okay. You know what? Highly likely that they caught something on the flight on the way over. Because everyone,
you just can't know.
yeah, and then it's not like you catch it and immediately get ill. Yeah, sometimes it incubates, it does its thing, and then, but her brother was fine. You said
he got a little bit, but he pulled through.
Okay,
so he seems to be doing fine. I felt terrible yesterday. I feel okay today.
Okay,
well, better. I would say I went from about 72% all the way up to maybe 83%.
Okay.
But I told you, I was like, hey, you might want to, pipe in remote, but it's up to you. And then you go, oh, I'm sick. I ate.
Well, I don't want to say I'm sick, but I feel like I have the precursor to sickness, which is that, like, just that tight throat.
Oh, you're sick. You're sick.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're coughing all over the place when you're talking.
It's because I was chewing on a candy and it's like made my voice scratchy. But
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. But listen, yeah, I kind of want to check in with everyone at the RSP holiday party in a couple days and just make sure that they're still kicking.
Yeah, call in. This will air on Radio St. Pete on Sunday, so we're gonna have a few days to let it incubate.
Yeah.
And then you can call 813-693-2124. That's the voice and text line. Let us know if you were severely ill. Maybe
nobody's fault, but it's the time of year. It's the time of year. Everybody is kind of walking around with a little something.
Listen, nobody's at fault, but maybe somebody is. We don't know whom.
And listen, things spread, and it's just the time of year. Okay. It's just the time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, I just hope you didn't have a croissant, which that's all I can say
I
at
didn't.
the event.
Yeah.
Good. Good,
Yeah.
good.
But we'll see. And wait, did we want to No, we want to we'll save some special news in the after part of
Yeah, I do have some news to share and also just tell you about the trip. I met the funniest lady in the world. I
Really?
like so absurd and ridiculous, but I think I'll just tell you about that. She told me a story, Anna, about herself, and I died for a few. My soul left my body. I laughed, and it wasn't like a
Courtesy
laughing
laugh.
with her. It was I was laughing at her.
Okay.
She's just a mess, and she's the best. I had so much fun with her. She's great, but she is one of those ones where you just laugh right in her face, and you can't help it. Um,
All right.
yeah, sorry. Well, let me just say this. So we're gonna do a few, radio stories for Radio St. Pete. So we're not just talking about ourselves the whole time. And then we will you know, talk about ourselves in the
Mm.
second uncensored portion. So after the half an hour, we'll cut Radio St. Pete loose. We'll cut podcast listeners loose. If you want the full audio only podcast, you can head over to hmbradio.substack.com. You can subscribe there. I made it as cheap as I possibly can. I think it's like $5 for a month, or you can do $50 for the year. I would suggest the 50 because it's way cheaper. And that way, it's a good way to support the show. You'll get the full audio only podcast up front, and hopefully, we'll be doing more things over there in the semi near future. Or you can wait till Sunday at midnight, get the whole thing for free if you missed the live stream on Rumble and YouTube. And of course, yeah, like I said, you can listen to Radio St. Pete. God bless them. At around 6 p.m. I'm not saying God bless them like they're dead. I'm just
Right.
saying, God
Thank
bless
you.
them doing
Yeah.
God's work is what I'm saying. And if you want to interact with the program, you can do that. I don't have Twitter anymore for various reasons, but you could comment in the. I like getting comments even after the stream ends. I respond to those. You can get a hold of us online, voice and text, 813-693-2124, HMB Radio on Facebook, the homemade broadcast at gmail.com. And if you want to Venmo or anything like that, I split those with Donna. That's really nice of you. It's Will Kuncz, just my name, all one word. And one more thing I'm forgetting. I was doing so good. Oh, I don't know.
It's all right. It'll come to you, and then you can make an outburst.
But anyway, super chats. Yeah, we have super chats on YouTube. If you want to do that, those are guaranteed to be read. I do try to read the chat as I go, but there are actually quite a few in there, so that's good. Did you do the Spotify Wrapped? Did you get your
Can
Spotify
I?
Wrapped? Yeah, do it now. I don't listen. I don't use Spotify at all. I was surprised because they sent me for the podcast. Oh, you got it.
Wrapped. I like that. Find out
how terrible your music is.
Yeah. And then share it for everyone because everyone cares what you've been listening to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a big production. They're like, hi, Anna Hummel. It's that time of year again. Wrapped's ready. Are you? Life moves fast. Luckily, we took notes. What is this?
It is very thoughtful because they did the same thing with my with just the podcast creation. It gave me a lot of like data about the show and like what age groups are listening and how much it grew. It grew a lot on Spotify this year, which is pretty awesome.
My biggest listening day was July 4th. But that was with you guys.
You must have been in control of the tunes that day.
All right.
I don't really listen to I don't use Spotify at all.
Oh, I love Spotify. I mean, I feel like most people, if you no offense, but if you go to the gym,
Yeah. I don't right now.
I know.
So yeah. But even when I did, I'm more of a podcast man, audiobook man. Not really.
You can still listen to Spotify. There's a podcast on Spotify, but
yeah.
Typically it's for music. Yeah.
I use Apple. That's what I'm used to. iTunes, YouTube, things like that. Sorry, Spotify. Maybe Joe Rogan signed that deal with them, and all of a sudden he's back on YouTube. Now you can just watch entire shows on YouTube.
Yeah, I think the contract ended or something. He's got FU money, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants, and set the terms of his own contract, and whoever it's with is probably gonna be like, yeah, that works. Like,
right. So we did have some news today, and a lot of it, unfortunately, involves politics. I don't really want to talk too much about politics, but Chad Chronister, Sheriff Chronister from Hillsborough County, got nominated by Donald Trump to be his DEA administrator. And for whatever reason, we don't really know, has went ahead and declined that invitation.
Did we know the previous announcement that he'd been selected? Because I didn't hear that. I only heard that he's going to bow out of the race.
Yeah, I did hear about it on just before I left, and I was like, oh wow, local guy for DEA admin. And I'm trying to speculate why he would not want that job. But then I saw that once he backed out, yeah, Donald Trump was like, I didn't want him. That's why. So I don't.
I think they knew that he wasn't going to win because of I guess he shut down a pastor, and that wouldn't be favorable to,
I saw Creative Loafing. Creative Loafings is a local outlet here, and they were giving their criticism of him was that he took an endorsement from that guy that he arrested.
Took an endorsement?
He took an endorsement from a conspiracy theorist, that pastor who kind of defied the lockdown orders. But then Trump's reasoning supposedly was that he arrested that guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. That so he shut him down.
He's got both sides mad at him.
I guess so.
So I thought that was interesting, but then, man, that would be a tough job, because that's going to be a really important job coming up, I think, in this next administration. They're talking about using military in Mexico for the cartels.
Mm-hmm. Sort of did you ever meet him?
I think I did once.
Yeah, I met him in passing.
Yeah, in passing. I think he was on Dom's show.
Correct. That's when I met him.
Yeah.
They're like, Chad Cronstrom. I'm like, oh, I do now. I don't think I really had an understanding of like how important high up a sheriff is in the county.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're the head of the sheriff police force, or the sheriff's county deputies. But I just didn't understand like the gravity of it. You know what I mean? Because Dom was always bringing in everybody, and sometimes they weren't as high on the hierarchy of importance as everyone else. But Dom was always like treated them like they were. So yeah, and I think that there was also a DeBartolo connection as well. I think he's married to Nikki DeBartolo. Yeah.
Which isn't that Ben Swig's ex-wife?
Correct.
So weird.
Yes.
So weird.
Yeah.
The wicked webs we weave.
Mm-hmm.
But, I thought that was kind of cool, the local connection there, and I wonder what happened. He seems like a pretty squeaky clean guy, so I don't think it was like they're gonna find something, or
I think it was just the pastor thing as I understood it. And again, I briefly read, 20, 30 seconds of this, but it seemed like there was a pastor. I didn't know if it was one of those, what do you call it? Like charlatans. I just thought it was a regular pastor who was just trying to have service, and he shut it down. So basically like he wasn't strong when everybody else was saying, like Ron DeSantis opened up the state, and it seems like Chad Chronister tried to like shut things down, and that's not very popular. But speaking of Ron DeSantis, I heard that he might be the pick.
Yeah, for
instead of Chad. Yeah.
I heard for defense secretary.
Oh, was that it?
The Fox News guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, instead of Peter Haysig or whatever.
Yeah,
that's right. I don't know. It's a weird name. But I think you're right. I thought it was for some reason for DEA, but you're right. It's Secretary of Defense.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, though. I heard Trump is sticking strong with that guy. He's got a pretty extensive. I know the criticism is that he's from Fox News, but he had a career in the military before.
Right.
What do people want? What do people want for like a defense secretary?
Well, I guess it depends what network you're looking at, but people are always going to try to poke holes as if anybody has like a squeaky clean, perfectly untainted past. I think they were trying to claim that like the tattoos he had on his body were like white supremacist symbols. Like people will just, go in for any given reason. So
yeah, that seems to be one that they were really upset about. There was Matt Gaetz.
Oh my God, that didn't last.
Yeah, the congressman from Florida, I believe in the Pensacola area. People got really upset about that one. But
strange character.
Odd guy.
Weird, like there was some weird situation with his son and possible. I'm not trying to say anything that isn't true, but a possible underage sex trafficking scandal. Like, just is he married? Is he not married? Is he a bachelor?
Married.
He's
He's
married.
married.
Okay.
There was some accusations, I guess, about potential trafficking or visiting a minor. I don't like the trafficking thing anymore because it's like you get them an Uber and you're trafficking. But then there's also like trafficking where you're, putting girls in a trunk of a car and
Right.
taking them against their will somewhere. It's
And then
such a not flimsy, but
no, it is. It is.
big spectrum.
It's just trafficking is like the transportation. And like you said, if you get them an Uber, you're trafficking. But what if they're willfully cooperating or they want to, but they're underage and then it's trafficking? Whereas it would have just been like, a fling, but because it's underage, it's this aggravated offense of trafficking. I don't know.
Yeah.
It gets complicated.
Yeah. I don't know either. I know that they're trying to get him to release the report now.
Like,
As far as I know, no charges were filed against him, but he's
yeah.
weird. He had plastic surgery. He's just kind of a weirdo.
He kind of looks like a villain. I was gonna make a comparison to like rape. Not a fun topic, but like if you have consensual sex with a woman who's 18, it's just consensual sex. But if you have consensual sex with a 17-year-old, it's statutory rape. You know what I mean? So it could be the same thing if it's a minor that you're trafficking. You know what I mean? Or it's now trafficking. It's not transportation. So who knows?
Mm-hmm. So that he's gone. He just wouldn't pass through, getting that job. And then they nominated another Florida connection, Pam Bondi.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know exactly where she lives in Hyde Park. Yeah.
And that you're actually in her house right now.
This is Pam Bondi's living room, actually.
Live from Pam Bondi's house.
Woo! Yep. Look at that nice fireplace.
Yeah.
She's got a nice DVD collection.
Mm-hmm.
The boomer that she is. No, she's probably Gen X. But yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens.
So I think that's a pretty good pick. I mean, he's got some goofy ones, but I don't really care. I mean, at this point, I'm just like, this is just repercussions for past indiscretion. Oh, you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I just got to
look like you almost threw up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, there was a lot of... Dr. Oz. I was talking to my girl's mom about that when she's approaching the age of getting Medicare, and he's going to be head of, I guess, Medicare, right? I don't know what exact title is. The director,
the health minister. I don't know.
No, Robert Kennedy, I think, is going to be the NIH guy. Or no, what's his name? Bhattacharya, the guy who did the Great Barrington Declaration, is going to be head of the NIH, which that one's interesting. Stanford educated, though. I mean, and that was one of the analogies that I use, is that you could interchange Jay Bhattacharya and Anthony Fauci, pretty much same level of education. I think one's Harvard, one's Stanford. But anyway, now that's actually happening. So that's cool. And then what was the other one? Dr. Oz.
What is Dr. Oz? Let's find out.
Dr. Oz, it's something with Medicare or Medicaid or something, and she's worried that he's going to cut all the funding for it or something, which maybe.
Let's see. CMS administrator, Center for Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah. So he's going to be doing that, and I don't know what qualifications do you need for that.
You're on Oprah. Done.
You're on Oprah. Oprah found you. Oprah is going to have some sort of role, I'm sure. No, I don't think she's a fan, so I don't think she would serve, but
no,
that would be good to see her there. So yeah, a lot of Florida connections in the new government that should be maybe taking hold in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, Trump is he is a Florida guy.
Yeah,
he is a Florida man. He has left his home state of New York, and he is now a full-time Florida resident. So
yeah. I do want to read this because somebody's asking me to put this up, and I did see it. So he said, read this on air. And then he talks about dragging something about D's nuts across our chins. Comment, Anna? Thoughts?
I have no thoughts.
Okay. Well, thank you for that comment, sir. What we'll do now is we'll cut Radio St. Pete podcast listeners off. If you have any comments or concerns about I know this is Radio St. Pete, for them and for the podcast listeners, let us know. 813-693-2124. That's a good way to get a hold of us. If you're ill from the fundraiser, please also call in, let us know. thehomemadebroadcast@gmail.com. And if you are not if you're listening live, stay tuned. And hmbradio.substack.com. You get the full podcast uncensored, because we're going uncensored for another half an hour. Hopefully you'll join us then. Lots of exciting news, big announcements, lots of fun tales, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome, bitches. Yeah, uncensored.
All right,
baby.
spill the tea, Will. We've all been waiting very patiently. And I think most of the listeners know.
Yeah, I'm a married man now.
Whoa.
Yep.
Well, in waiting, but.
Yep, in waiting. I got engaged over the break. Yeah.
Very excited. Fun. Yeah.
Pretty fun. Going to be a daddy. No, I'm not going to be a daddy that I know of, but there was passionate lovemaking that was had.
Oh, wow. Good. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. So that's a big announcement. I had to figure out a way to do it. I got that ring in February, and I was like,
I remember.
If we don't get a knockdown drag out fight in a few months, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. And then we got in a huge fight like a few weeks ago.
Oh my God. Okay.
In like month 10. So I was like, but I think part of that was that I'm just dragging my feet. We're going on almost 4 years here. So I kind of get her point of view on that. So just did it in Key West. A lot of family was there, or her family was there anyways, not any of mine. But I had my buddy Kevin was there, and that was cool. So
good. Yeah. I was very excited. Can I tell how I found out about your engagement?
Sure.
I found out through your father. Yeah. Through your dad. Your dad was very, very, very excited and very proud of his son, and on the announcement, and to bring Julia your partner into your family. And I was on the gram, and it was the first thing that popped up, and I went, oh my God. And then I immediately looked at your socials and her socials, and there was not a peep. Yeah. So then I messaged you like, hey, I don't know if I'm supposed to know this yet, but your dad's wilding out. Congratulations.
Online. Luckily, he's a boomer and doesn't know how to tag anybody or anything. So we weren't tagged in the post, so nobody could really see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a point of contention a little bit. Not really, but she's like, what?
Come on,
what's
Tim.
Going on? What's he doing?
Yeah.
What can you do?
What was your mother's reaction and your stepfather? Were they?
Yeah, I think they were excited as well. I did get I actually haven't talked to my mom yet. I need to. I'm a bad son. I don't call anybody.
Did you text her?
I texted. I texted, and she said, "Congratulations." That's so exciting. I think, or something to that
effect.
That effect.
Yeah. All right.
Pillow, congrats, Will. Much love. Thank you. Pillow, yes. Very exciting.
$2 to the wedding fund.
That
right. Is exciting.
That's right. I actually, the news, I'm not even the first show, quote unquote show. Mike and the gang were talking about it on the morning show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mike started, awesome. It's so funny because he just goes, I don't think I'll be invited, and I wouldn't go. I'm like, okay, well, you're right on both accounts. I wasn't going to invite you. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yes.
And I knew you wouldn't go.
Yeah.
So, yes, you are.
Well, I think there is a question that everybody is wondering about, and that is, will I be a groomswoman?
Groomswoman? Oh.
Yeah, I think everybody in the chat wants to know, will I be a groomswoman?
That's a good question.
Because listen, I know you have your guy friends, and I'm not trying to insert myself into the boys club, but I would say that you and I are pretty tight, pretty good friends.
It's a good
Just
question.
wondering.
I'll
The
have to think
people.
about it. I'll have to think about it. I am kind of a traditionalist in a way, and I feel like it's the girls have the girls and the guys have the guys. But it's, I mean, you are one of my best friends.
Right, right.
You're pretty far up there.
And listen, I completely understand either way. Totally get it. It would kind of cause like question. It would look weird if you had, a female on, the groomsman side. But I was also just, not me. People were wondering. So I just thought I would bring it to your attention.
What would you wear? Would you wear a dress, like a bridesmaid's dress on the other side, or would you be wearing more something that, if I don't even know what we're
Not
doing.
my wedding. It's not
Yeah, I
my
don't even,
wedding. So
would
I
you
mean,
wear
I'd be
a power suit, like a Hillary Clinton power suit, or what are we talking?
again, I don't know, but in my mind, I see myself like in the same color suits as you guys are wearing, but in
Okay.
dress form.
All right. Well, what about if I could talk her into making you a bridesmaid?
I don't want to feel like she's pressured to do something. She probably has some good girlfriends, but
No,
if
I don't know if she does. She might
okay,
need you. She might
I'm
need
available.
she
I'm
might need
available if I need, but also listen, I can also be, leader of the snacks or head usher. I can help in any way that you need me. I don't need to be up there getting attention. That's not really my style.
We're
But
I'm not even really sure what we're gonna do. I mean, we've talked about just going to a courthouse and having like
mm,
a little party afterwards, or
mm,
we don't really know. She was asking me, and I'm like, can't we just like enjoy this for like we got the holidays coming up, we
mm,
traveling a lot. Let's just not think about it.
mm.
Like we got it done. Let's enjoy that, the actual engagement, and then later we can start thinking about what we're gonna do.
I'm trying to think if I like believe in a long engagement. I feel like
Not necessarily long, but
yeah. Yeah, but I think it's
year?
kind of like
Is it year
she
long?
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Not listen, I like be engaged for as long as you want. I just think traditionally it's usually within a year, I would say, typically.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard people talk about why you shouldn't have a long engagement. I can't exactly remember like what the
Mm,
reasoning was. But
yeah,
also like you got to think if this is something that she wanted and you basically, hit go, that's the planning starts immediately. What dress will I wear? What will my bridesmaids wear? What will we be eating? What kind of cake? What kind of centerpieces? Will there
mm,
be dance floors? Is there going to be a band or DJ? Like there's so many decisions to be made. So I understand that she's kind of already in plan mode.
yeah.
And yeah, we can also kind of just briefly talk about that the cost of weddings is not
Oh my god.
minimal.
Yeah, that's scary to me too, because I don't have any money. That's a that was one of the things that Mike said too. He's like, he picked the worst possible time because he doesn't have a job. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have I don't even have the weekly checkup anymore. I don't know if I told you that, but that's finito.
Yeah, you did tell me that. But what if you want to go traditional, which it sounds like you do, it is actually customary for the bride's family to pay for the wedding.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so there you
Well,
go.
that works out well.
Yeah.
That works out real good.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm kinda just like, whatever makes her happy, I'm in for. If she wants to do a small thing, great. Because she was like, "Well, maybe we could do, like, 50 people." I'm like, "50 people? There's 10 that came on this trip with us. So that's 20% of your guest list that's already filled out, and we have quite a few that we would need to at least the really close." Like, I was thinking, like, Mike said he wouldn't go, and I'm like, "Okay, wasn't gonna invite you anyway, so you're good. You're good there." And then I'm thinking, like, who would I invite? Is there anybody from work that I would invite? And I think my day job people I would, but I can't really see inviting really anybody these days.
Anybody from the bone.
I don't think so. I
What
can't.
about
I mean,
Dizzy?
yeah, Disney
That'd be
Disney will be
hilarious.
there. I'm gonna dress him up in a jester's outfit and throw tomatoes at him all day. I'll pay him. It'll be good. Um, no, I mean, like, I don't really. The only person that I really talk to, sort of, is Galvin,
Hmm.
and I thought maybe Galvin, but would I invite Galvin when nobody else is there that he knows?
I feel
I
like that's almost
think
like
that's
that's
that's the
gonna that would be great radio fodder for their show if Galvin was the only one that got an
whole
invitation.
idea.
But I feel like at that point, it's kind of like all or nothing. You either invite everyone or kind of invite no one.
Yeah,
So
I'm not really close to any I mean, I don't really
yeah,
have that sort of relation I worked at night, so, I mean, Johnny B, but I don't think Johnny would come anyways at this point, but,
yeah. I think the best kind of way to go about it is you just tell people that you're having a small wedding.
yeah.
And then you have a K.R. style wedding of 600 people.
Well,
No,
if
but I
Mike's
think
not coming, that
no,
means
I
I can
know.
invite the sponge.
And he what?
I can invite the sponge.
Oh, yeah, feel free to feel free.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I think what about like 75 people? I think you could probably get it to 75 and under. You do have a kind of extended friend group, and then you gotta
Yeah,
think every person that you invite, if they're a solo person, you have to offer the plus one, and I feel like that's really what creates a lot of problems is that you do the plus one, and now you got 50 single people who
yep.
brought a plus one, and now it's like it's doubled. So
Yeah, you have to take that into consideration too, you're right, because half of those people are gonna be guests. You don't wanna say no guests.
yeah, I've been
Yeah.
to I went to a wedding in California by myself with no plus one, and I asked to invite my mother, and she declined. So I went to a wedding by myself. But
That's
thankfully there
great.
was an open bar and, you make friends. And the people that I knew there I hadn't seen since college graduation, so it had been almost 12, 13 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but and they said the nicest thing that you could say to somebody when you haven't seen them in that long, and that is,
You look great.
"No, you look exactly the same." They go,
Oh,
yeah." They go, "You look exactly the same." And I'm like,
yeah.
"Thank you." So, yeah,
So
that
you
was
hadn't
cool.
seen this person in 13 years and you still went to the wedding?
I saw her, but the other people there that I knew,
Oh, okay.
well, like her friends and people we knew in college together, I hadn't seen that. I wasn't close with them at all.
Have you
So,
declined a wedding invitation? Have you ever got an invitation and go, "Nah"?
yeah, yeah, I have because
Okay.
they were in Canada or Michigan or something like that, and I just couldn't make it. So,
My best friend in high school, this guy named Steve, well, I won't say his last name. I mean, I hung out with him every day. We would just we hang out at lunch, we're best buds in high school. After graduation, he just cut me loose. Never gave me an explanation. I was like calling, like, "Hey, you want to go do something?" And he just no answer, just totally blew me off. And then I heard through the grapevine that he said that, well, once you hang out with somebody for 4 years, you just kind of get sick of them. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. And I just went, whoa, okay. And
yeah.
I never talked to him again. So a few
You're gonna
years,
invite him to the wedding?
well, no, it's a few years ago. This was probably 10 years ago or more. I got a message on Facebook I wasn't friends with this account, so I didn't know. And I accepted it and it said, "Hi, I'm Steve's fiance, and we'd really like you to come to the wedding." And I was just like, that's a crazy thing. I don't even know how you knew. I mean, he must have told her about me, and he didn't reach out. She reached out to me about the wedding, and I just said, "Listen, I haven't spoken to him in 10 years. I appreciate it, but no, uh, I'm not doing that." And she just said, "Oh, okay. No worries." And I think they're divorced now. So it all worked out.
Yeah, it's nice. That's what you get.
Yeah. But
That is
that's
what
the
you
only
get.
one I think I
Mhm.
declined. There might have been some like distance, I don't think count, if you get invited to something that's, in Nova Scotia or something or somewhere weird and you can't make it. That's a little different. But I think that's the only one that was here. And I was just like, no, I'm not going.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kinda nice when it ends in divorce and you wanted to go because then you're like, "Didn't really work." Like, the one that I was invited to in Toronto, good friend of mine that I met actually when I was in Australia, she invited me to her wedding. It seemed like everything was going great for her. She marries this guy. It seems like they're really happy together, and then COVID happened, and she cheated on him, so
Oh, no.
and he found out.
That
So,
happens.
yeah, it happens. COVID made her do it, obviously. She was stressed, so
Sure. Did a lot of damage. Oh, Joe's upset. Joe, I'm sorry, buddy.
Mm.
Yeah, how long did it take her to say yes? Um, It was actually pretty quick, but she thought I was pranking her. She just kept saying, like, "Are you wait a minute, are you sure?" When I did my spiel, like, "This is a special place, and, I love you," and all that
Mm,
stuff, and she was like, "What did you do?" She thought I did something I was confessing. And I was like, "No, I didn't do anything, but I do have this for you." And then
yeah.
she, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And she just kept saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And I guess that's because we got in a knockdown, drag out fight where I thought we might break up a few weeks beforehand. So, uh, yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a juxtaposition there on her end, but pretty quick. Once she kind of figured out that I wasn't kidding, she said yes pretty quick. So that was good.
Did you rehearse what you were gonna say?
No, I
You did
didn't.
it. No, there wasn't like I should say this. I should this.
Well, I just thought maybe I should, but also I'll just go from. I was more nervous than I thought I was going to be because I was just like, I've been thinking about this for a long time. It'll be no sweat. But when it actually came to be crunch time, I got a little shaky.
Yeah,
Uh,
that there's a lot riding on it. It's kind of the biggest. I would argue maybe the biggest decision you ever make is who you choose to marry or spend your life with.
yeah.
I don't know how to
So
So yeah, I can see why you would be, a little bit nervous. Now, you did you know that you were going to do it right then and there, or it was just kind of like a let's do it moment?
it was kind of just like, let's do it. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Alcohol definitely helped. I had a few beers,
Okay.
and that kind of helped steer it along a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
very
Cool.
helpful.
So you just kind
Helpful.
of shot from the hip. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
alcohol is wildly useful
I'm
for
a
sure.
much better gambler when I'm drinking, and also making huge life decisions.
Mm,
But I'm always like, good. They always turn out good.
yeah.
So the fight. Tell us about the fight.
But you
Uh,
brought it up. Will.
well, I think to summarize, it was because I was dragging my feet, and I think she wanted a commitment. I think that's what the fight was about. I'm not going to go into like super. It's boring, anyways. But I think it was just me not moving on to the next stage,
The
and then
problem is Will. That's what he's trying to
yes, the
say.
problem is me. But the crazy thing about that was is that I had this ring that I was planning on giving her soon.
Mm.
And I felt like that would have neutralized the fight, but also it wouldn't have been very romantic. So I had to wait for Key West. But yeah, we got over it. But it was a doozy. That was
Mhm.
a doozy. But I met this woman that came,
Oh.
another woman, a new woman in my life. Her
Oh,
name's Beth. She
Beth.
came to Key West. She's family friends of the girlfriend that was really sick.
This is the woman in the picture that you posted?
Yes, it's on my Instagram, home_made_man. It's in my story if you want to see her. Her name's Beth. Now, she came down under the guise of her brother went missing in 1999. The last place he was seen alive was Key West in 1999. So she came down to poke around a little bit, investigate, see if maybe she could find out some information about her brother. From what I understand, the Miami Police Department pronounced him dead,
Did
and
they find a body?
they found a body, but the dental identification didn't match. But they still just
It
said
was
that's
just someone else's body.
someone else's body potentially. We don't know. And they did find did a Google search, and they found a PO box in Key West with his name on it. So I could have been a different guy, of course, it's not, but it's not a super common name either. So she was going to come to find her brother, see if she could find some information.
No, wait, hold on. He went missing in 99.
1999. So that
And so
was
she decided, I'll just wait
25 years ago.
25 years.
Well, she says that every year on either her birthday or his birthday, that she gets a phone call of just breathing. So she thinks it's her brother.
In witness protection or something.
Maybe. There was some allegations that perhaps he was involved with organized crime. So yeah, she doesn't know. So she was going to come down and investigate, see what she could find out. Turns out she just partied the whole time. Did not ask any questions about her brother at all, really. Like, they made her a shirt with her brother's face on. He kind of looks like Tony Soprano a little bit, the guy.
Oh, is that what your partner was wearing? There was some sort of like
Julie was
missing.
wearing the shirt, yeah, because she wouldn't wear it. She's
Didn't
like,
fit?
I'll just show. She's she's from Chicago, kind of a Midwestern, portly gal, probably 60 something years old. But she could party, man. She could definitely party. And there was a few times where she was outlasting me at bars, and she
Oh
would be
my
like,
God.
I don't want to go home. I want to go to another bar. And I would just be like, I gotta go to bed. This is too crazy for me. She was so agreeable. I would mess with her and be like, you want to do a shot at like 9 a.m.? She'd be like, sure. And she was serious. She would have done a shot at 9 a.m. if I poured it.
That
And I was
doesn't seem too out of your wheelhouse either,
9
but
a.m. for a shot is a little tough, even on vacation for me.
okay, all right.
11 a.m. brunch shot, yeah, I can probably get
Doable.
down. That's definitely doable. But 9 a.m., even for me, that's a little much.
Mm.
So she couldn't walk either. That was another thing. In Key West, it's all walking.
What do you mean she couldn't walk? She was too drunk or she was too fat?
She's claims she just needed to rest. She could walk, but she would just need to rest a lot. So she would really slow everybody down.
Did she have a little motorized scooter or
No, we should have got her one, but we didn't do that. What we figured out was we just had to trick her, and we would just say like, it's just another block down. Just keep going. You can do it. And then it would be like really far. We'd be walking like a mile, but those little blocks would add up and she would make it, but she would like have to sit down and wait. One time she did, Laura was the lady's name, that she came with. And Laura was like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go home. You gotta come back with me. I gotta walk you back home. And they were in the process of walking. And she goes, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. And Laura says, okay, I'll wait out here. So she was waiting outside of this bar outside of Willie T's on Duval Street. And she's like waiting and waiting and waiting. And like 15 minutes passed by. So she goes, oh my God, I hope she didn't fall or in the bathroom sick or something. Like, let's go see what's up with this. And she's sitting at the bar drinking a beer. She's got a beer and started drinking it while Laura's outside waiting for her. She's the funniest person, I think, but unintentionally funny.
yeah.
And let me tell you the story. I told you there was a story I was going to tell you that made me leave my body. And I hope this is as funny to you as it is to me.
We'll
and,
see.
And I feel like just spending time with her and her cadence and how she speaks and just her in general, just her face.
Her essence, yeah.
Funny. She's just so funny. So she says, oh, I got an ulcer under my tongue because I got really bad blisters. I brought bad shoes, so I was suffering with blisters. And she was like, oh yeah, I know how that is. I got an ulcer under my tongue. And the doctors didn't know what it was. And it was like a long time. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't do anything. So I just ate pie for 6 months. She ate pie and gained 45 pounds. And that's all she ate. And I'm just picturing a tubby gal going into Walmart and just getting like 15 Sara Lee's and just having a pie a day. For whatever reason, the crust seemed not to bother her.
I was gonna say, like, what about yogurt or like there's so many foods that are softer than pie.
Right.
Like liquids. Like
bone broth, soups, stews. There's plenty of alternatives
right.
than pie. But for whatever reason, pie is what resonated with her. So she ate pie for 6 months. Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard?
But totally believable.
Totally believable if you knew this lady. It's probably not as good because you didn't spend any time with her, so you don't really know her.
Will she be invited to the wedding?
Maybe.
I
think she's hilarious, so I kind of want her there. She tells great stories. She's a partier. She can really get after her. So, yeah. I mean, I'll definitely. She asked to be a bridesmaid. She flat out asked.
Oh wow, okay.
I would like to be a bridesmaid, Julia. And Julia went, okay. Well, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
She has no shame whatsoever. And I love that. I was excited it was like being in a murder mystery podcast. Like we're going to go around, do some detective work, ask some questions. And she just bailed on that immediately.
All of it.
Her first beer.
Wow.
Once you get the first beer in her, it was just fucking party time, shots, and
So she is Amanda's parents' friend.
yes,
Okay.
family friend that lives close.
Yeah, I can see why they wanted to bring her. They're like, this bitch knows how to have a good time.
Well, no, they didn't want to bring her.
Oh,
That
they
was the
didn't
thing.
want to bring her because she's
No,
like a liability.
because she can't walk. You know,
Oh,
it's just like you're gonna be slowing everybody down.
yeah, yeah.
But like we said, we just had to trick her and just tell her it was right up the road and just keep walking. You can do
Mm,
it. It was all psychosomatic. She would just need to plop down a little bit, get off those dogs, you know. And it is
mm.
a lot of walking there. I walked probably like 20 miles in 4
Oof,
days.
really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did 8 miles and I brought boat shoes with me, like the Sperry's.
Not
Boy,
the
that was a
move.
mistake. That was
Yeah.
a big mistake. And I'm like, these are really comfortable, and they are in short term.
Mm.
If you're kind of just going to the store, no problem. But they got leather bottoms.
Did you wear socks with them?
No.
Oof.
So they just tore my feet apart. And I had to buy some of the Hey Dudes. Do you know those?
Hmm.
I had to buy some of
I
those.
like those. You're saying it like it's a bad thing.
I don't.
You don't like them?
I think they're very ugly.
I don't know. I kind of like them, but I understand why people don't.
They're like a clog, like a fabric clog kind of.
Yeah, or you pull the little string to make
Yeah.
it tight. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. It's not an ideal shoe for me.
No. Yeah.
They were super comfortable. Those still gave me blisters though too because they were new. So
You
then I
got to
got
do socks, bro. I don't understand why you
I
hate
don't like
socks so much.
socks. I
I can
hate socks.
tell. Is it because does it suffocate your foot, or
I don't know.
you just
I don't like when socks show when you're wearing shoes. That makes me barf.
okay? You know that's kind of in now.
I don't care. It's not
Okay.
in for me.
All right. Well, I'm just saying you might spare yourself some blisters and heartache if you wear some socks.
Well, I think if I go back, I'll definitely just bring walking shoes.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not bringing maybe a pair of flops or Birkenstocks or something. I don't like Birkenstocks either, but I wear those
Mm.
because they're comfortable. And I have to have support for my fat feet. I can't just wear flip-flops anymore.
Yeah, you need
That's
supports for the arches. Yeah.
supports for the arches.
Mm.
But yeah, we did walk a lot. Beth was hilarious. Just a fun time all around. Got stone crab. That means
Ooh.
nothing to you.
I know that is a delicacy, I feel like.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, there's like a season for it.
And you eat the legs? Do you eat the body? Do you eat the eyeballs?
The
The
claws.
claws. That's where
And
I imagine most of the meat is, or no?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's much meat. I don't even know if I think they just rip a claw off. I don't think they kill the stone crab. I think they throw them back. I think they just rip the claw off.
That's terrible.
But they leave them with one, you know? So they have one, they just don't have two. So they rip one off. Now they have one. And they can still do their thing and eat and feed and all that.
Why don't they just eat the whole thing? Can't you eat the legs? I know people eat crab legs all the time. That's a thing.
Yeah, but I think stone crab, they're like little tiny little legs. You can eat snow crab because they got the big
snow crab. Okay.
snow
Maybe that's what
crab
I'm thinking.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like soft shell crab. You can eat the whole crab. They literally just fry those things up and you eat the shell and all.
Those are insects of the sea. That's to me that is so disgusting. So fucking gross.
You're right.
But to each their own.
I don't disagree with you. They were delicious though. Had some oysters. That must really make you gag. Raw oysters.
Dude, that should make anybody gag. That's a booger in a cup.
It's gross.
What is appealing about that? Like you don't really even taste it. I feel like you just swallow it whole. Right?
Yeah, you're kind of right.
You shuck it, I believe is the verb.
Well, you shuck the shell open and then you get to the
I thought this was shucking. But shucking is the scraping.
I thought was where they open the shell and then like make the oyster loose and
then that is probably the correct answer, but I thought like, oh, you're shucking it back. Like I just made this up in my head. But
yeah, maybe you could be right. I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah. So explain what is appealing. Like, can you really even taste it, or are you just?
Well, some of them are a little sweeter. Some of them are a little saltier. I do like the West Coast oysters better. They're a little smaller, a little sweeter.
Do you
Do
you chomp them?
Not really. It's kind of just like you kind of just get it on your tongue and swirl around and swallow it. But yeah, maybe I'll do a little. I think you break it with your tongue more than anything on the roof of your mouth. Yeah, it is gross. Like I can't even really fight back on that one. You're right. It's disgusting.
Well, as long as you liked it.
I did like it. I did like it. Great trip. Fun times.
And you got a lot of trips coming up.
Oh my God, I got so much shit coming up. I'll have to keep you posted about the podcast next week. I got to leave tomorrow. I'm out of town tomorrow. And I think I'm not leaving until Thursday again next week. And then it's Christmas. So we should have pods.
You were going to be so drunk this entire month. It is wild because you got party after party after party, then Christmas, then New Year's.
And New Year's.
And New Year's,
It's going to be nonstop boozing. It's my favorite time of year, though. You can drink all month, and you can just go on a month-long bender. And nobody can really say
under the radar. But for you again this year, the holiday started after Labor Day, it seemed.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right. It's been exciting. So yeah, we should have shows the next few weeks. Obviously, I think Christmas we're gonna take off that week. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll do a show if I'm here. I'll have to talk about that. But yeah, thanks for joining in and tuning in for my special news. And I would invite you again to check out the Substack, hmbradio.substack.com. I know they can do video there now. It's just a good way to, a small token of your listenership. You can go subscribe for free too. If you don't want to subscribe. I get it. But you can go subscribe for free. You'll get the 30-minute free portion of audio now. So you don't have to wait till the podcast drop. It's very confusing. There's a lot of things happening. But you at least get that free 30 minutes now. I'm going to go after we conclude here. I'm going to take the audio. I'm going to upload it, and it'll be on Substack. Live stream replay will be up on Sunday on YouTube and Rumble. And Radio St. Pete, of course, is gone now, and podcast listeners are gone. So I guess we don't need to address them anymore. The plebes, if you will. Anna, thank you.
Thank you.
Your home is beautiful.
Thank you.
House.
Yep.
That's great. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joe, for sticking around. I hope he wasn't mad. Oh, I guess I could try to get some comments here. We did get the one super chat. Oh. It's just a lot of Joe. It's a lot of Joe. Tell us about the fight. No. How long it takes you to say yes? We already did that one. Have I called her my fiance yet? I don't know if I have, actually.
Want to do it here?
My fiance. Please.
Soon to be your wife.
My wife.
You're going to be a husband.
Well, Anna, wear a pantsuit. I guess that's about the potential groom's lady thing. We'll have to see. Anna's next. Maybe. Soul brother Kevin. I don't know what that means.
Like an invite?
I don't know. Oh, maybe Soul brother Kevin. Yeah. No, I don't think. No, nobody from the bone. Even Galvin. Maybe Galvin. That's it. I'd love John to be there, John Senning, but
there's no way he RSVPs, responds, or shows up.
He would forget. Yeah, he would forget. I think those would be the only two I would entertain. I guess that's it. It's a lot of comments. Thanks for all the comments. Shit.
Well, people are excited.
Well, yeah.
It's big news in your life.
Yeah, for real. All right. Very well. We'll see you next week, I think. If not, we might have to do one maybe on Tuesday instead of Wednesday, but I'll keep everybody posted on that. Follow me on social, home_made_man on Instagram. That's it. That's all I have now. HMB Radio on Facebook. And Anna is not on social, so
I did make a post on Twitter though. So
you did. Good.
I did. Yes.
Good. Very good. I appreciate that. All right. Great. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.